Well, everybody, time is ticking down for Mel and I before we leave to go back to the Philippines to our other life. Come over here, spend a little time with the cows here right now on this one piece of property. And it's got some beautiful little young calves over there. Put them some hay out right here. You see they're already really enjoying it, and we'll get a few more bells out. But it's really dry. Let me show you here. Look at this, just dry. Dry. Not much moisture at all for this time of year, almost January. Ponds are low, and I actually seen I had hydra growing around one of my ponds like if it was spring or summertime. Couldn't believe it. It's about a 4-foot ring around one of them. But the grass is starting to put out here on this place. Let me show you here. It's turning green. So these warm days and it not being too wet, it does have its benefits. Well, I got confirmed who's going to be feeding my cows while I'm gone. I had some options, but the one that I wanted was my cousin Pooh Dennis. He runs a lot of cattle himself, a lot of cattle, a way bigger way than me, and he is extremely knowledgeable and dependable. And I knew if I was going to pay somebody and leave it in their hands, he's who I wanted. So I called him up and we talked on the phone, and he said he is more than happy to do it. And man, I'm more than happy for him to do it. I love him and I trust him. I know that they're in good hands with him. So that is a blessing to me. It is a blessing because I can rest assured that they're not just being fed, but they're being watched after with good quality, knowledgeable person that knows all about taking care of these cattle better than I do myself. Well, I really appreciate that. And so I'm going to meet with him next couple of days, and we're going to kind of just go over a little bit, but shoot, ain't really nothing to go over because yeah, it pretty much just show him where I want him to feed them at, and that'll be that. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, I enjoy when I get over there to the Philippines. I do. And I separate from this right here and all. I love both lives, and that's what's hard, is when you love both lives. And it does get difficult bouncing between the two. I have a few health conditions that going over there is actually better for me than here. And mainly from my accident I was in, I sustained some pretty substantial nerve damage. I've been lucky right now that we've not had a cold winter so far. But man, the days that we have had that was cold, it pretty much just locked me down. It just pretty much locked my body down. Or it's plane up there flying right now. It's a beautiful day for that too. Look at that sky. Yeah, nice. So as much as I wish that I could take care of all this all the time myself, it's pretty torturous to me. And but I try to hold on. I'm trying to stay tough and hold on. But it really does help me to get over there out of this cold air, and the warmth and that salt water in the Philippines. Man, that salt water out there in the ocean just feels like it's just healing to me. And really ready for that. I really am. I'm also, it's really good for my soul to be around Melinda's family and the kids and my son Brawl. Man, that is all additional blessings as well. We have more of a life there around us, that we've got good people that we're interacting with, people, you know, that love us and we love them, and we can share and laugh and joke. And you know, there's times there's problems. That's family though, right? There's times there's problems. But I love the attitude with all of them over there on the most part. It's a more stress-free, more stress-free. It is. If I could have farmland like this over there, I think I would be happy. I would be able to combine both worlds into one world. But land over there is very expensive. I can't own it. Only Melinda can, and I don't mind that to some point. But I have kids here in the U.S. They're not kids anymore. They're more than grown adults. My youngest daughter being a parent herself, and of course, I want to have something from the family to hand them down in the future. So I'll just keep pushing on here, keep pushing on, and continue living my dual life. And maybe someday when I pass on some of this farmland and all, maybe they'll be at a stage in their life that they'll really appreciate it, and maybe it can continue on. I just don't know. I don't know what the future holds. The city is growing out closer and closer out here. The land prices have gone through the roof, and when the land prices go through the roof, land taxes go through the roof, and that's something very, very difficult about where we're at, as the growth of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is growing out now in our direction, the same as it did out towards Frisco and Allen and Plano and McKinney and Farmersville and Rockwall and Royal City, and we're right next to Royal City, and now it's happening here. So that's the main thing that's really threatening this future of these farmlands. You know, you can eventually get priced right out. So I don't know what's going to happen. This might be the end of the line of this farm. I don't know. But for the time being, when I get over here at times like this, I just sit here and watch these cows, content and happy. And when I plant these fields and they start growing green, and I get on this tractor and I just ride it, and I think that's it's pretty wonderful too. As I'm riding this field, and I remember, you know, my granddad's old barn was, and it's long gone, and the old two-story, or the old, not two-story, but I guess, well, it may have been kind of like a story and a half house that was down here. Old and destroyed and long gone, and all the family memories. My kids don't have those memories over here like I do, and like some of my cousins and all do. But boy, us cousins, we have the memories here. I remember there's a pond, another pond right on down here, that we call that the middle tank. And our granddad, he was so cool. He had us a little dive platform back there on the back, and he'd take us down there swimming and diving, and just a wonderful time. But my father, he wouldn't do that kind of stuff. It was always, you're going to drown, or someone's going to sue me. Yeah. But our grandfather, G.B. McLamee, he liked us to have fun. I mean, he did. He liked us to have fun. And we did have fun. We swam in the ponds and in the lakes, and went camping with him and traveled across the U.S. with him. And he's actually the person responsible for me having the travel bug, is my granddad, G.B. McLamee. He loved to get out and have adventure and see parts of the United States and Alaska. And man, I tell you what, even us grandkids rode a lot of miles in a truck, in a camper, and saw a great part of America. Thanks to him. Thanks to him. Man, I really didn't get much of that with my dad. After I was an adult and I could just go on my own, I did, or tag along wherever my dad was going. But my dad, he was more about himself only. My mom really had an aggravation with him over that. So I feel blessed that I had my granddad. And this was, for a while, my granddad's farm. He bought it and he ran it for a number of years, and then he sold it off and moved up to the top of a mountain in Arkansas. And so my mom, he sold it. My mom bought it back from the man he sold it to, and now it's mine. And I think that's pretty dang cool. Well, that's my little nostalgic video, and we're preparing for the Philippines, and I'm pretty happy. We got suitcases set out and we're packing, and I packed some of the oddest crap you've ever seen in the world, especially with our building project over there, and also with my truck there that I like to do projects on and repairs. And this time there's a radiator going in the suitcase. You heard that right, there is a radiator going in the suitcase, because it's a heavy duty one that I can't get over there, and I want it, especially in that hot country. Things like an emergency brake cable. My emergency brake's not working on mine over there, so I'm packing an emergency brake. I'm also packing some materials for doing those concrete forms over there. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I guess being that we already have a lot of clothes there, we have everything there, and now that they have those SNRs in the Philippines, a lot of the stuff that we would buy here in the US and take there, including chocolates, I can buy that right there now locally at that SNR. You know, we used to buy those and give it to the kids, but it was heavy in the bag and took up a lot of space. Of course, you worry about it melting and all, and the transfers and stuff, and it would melt. But all kinds of stuff now, we can just get it there. It's changed in my years of going to the Philippines. It used to be, you want anything from America, you better bring it from America. But now, I can get everything. I can get this, just pretty much everything. I mean, it really is. Right down, I mean, even Folgers coffee, ground coffee now. Used to be to find brew coffee there. That was tough. That was hotel item. But things have changed for real. So now I can bring other odd stuff, and probably one of these days, even these things will be able to be found there in the Philippines. I really watched this country grow up fast, just in the last 7 years. Holy cow. I miss kind of the rawness of it. I really enjoyed it when there was probably less foreigners there like myself, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy to see them too. It gives you somebody more often that you can have a conversation with without what they call nosebleed, you know, because you don't know the next word to say and you're thinking, your nose starts to bleed. So I don't mind that too much, but it is nice to run across another Westerner or something, and be able to sit down and talk and visit for a while sometimes, you know. And it does kind of help out with the homesickness part on that. But we're all there enjoying that beautiful country together. Every once in a while you'll find a character that's there for some illicit reasons, and a lot of us foreigners, we try to avoid those guys, you know, that are there with bad intentions. That's all I'm gonna say. But you can usually pick those characters out, you know. You can usually see them coming from a mile away, and they'll be real avoidant to talk to you too. And it's just like their guilt's just reeking all over them, and that's fine, because I don't want to talk to any of those anyway. Be guilty by association. But on the most part, some really great people come there. There's more young Westerners coming out to the Philippines, not just a bunch of old farts like myself. I was in my 30s when I started going there. Just a few years older than my wife is right now. Just about, I think I was only about just about 3 or 4 years older than Melinda when I began going. And I looked like a young guy back then in the Philippines. And now I just like another one of the old guys there in the Philippines. Yeah. Of course, the ones that don't know me, they probably think I'm just one of these new Westerners showing up. But I've actually gave up part of my youth there as well. And I love the country. I love the people. And of course, the same reasons I love it, a lot of other people are coming there and discovering it and loving it as well. I think the number one thing about the Philippines, above and beyond the beautiful scenery, the waters, the mountains, the jungle, the number one thing they have, the number one asset of the Philippines is the Filipinos. The wonderful, just happy, just sharing. They're humble, and they're very hospitable, very inviting, very helpful. And they have a different outlook on life. Their family unity, man, that all of that, that's the number one asset about the Philippines. Add the beauty in second, and that's the truth. So that, I guess I'm gonna shut this out right now. It's a little talking head video. I'm kind of getting some real excitement in me now before our trip. I've been burdened down with a guy that was working for us, and he had a lot of problems in his life, and he was putting those problems on us and just wearing us out with it. And I hate to say this, he's kind of like that fly on your face that you can't make go away. You keep shooing it away and it keeps landing back on your eye and your nose. Whew. Well, I finally had to pull my boots up and get tough and send him down the road. And he's gone. And I tell you, the second he was gone, Mel and I, and even Cap over there, we felt like a burden was off our shoulders for real, and the happiness has come on now to prepare for our trip. I tell you, that negative energy from somebody can be debilitating, for real. So we're pretty excited. I'm really looking forward to getting to the Philippines. And any of you out there, if you're already in the Philippines and you were anywhere near the typhoon that just came through and come through Samar and Tacloban, and coming on across into Rojas, Capiz, Antique, Aklan, Iloilo, there where we're at, just so near to us. We're lucky we missed the damage, but any of y'all that sustained damage or are displaced, or you have friends or loved ones displaced, I tell you, I feel sorry. I wish I could help, and just know that prayers and love are out there for you. So with that, everyone, take care, and see you soon in the Philippines.